Peace, love, and abundance of all things good to you, amazing, beautiful people. It's your girl V back with another episode of the Voice by V podcast. What's up? Happy Tuesday. Maybe happy Wednesday by the time you get this. I don't know. Today we are clearly a little behind, but better late than never, honestly. My focus is just showing up, and that's what the hell I'm doing in real time. It has been quite a week for me energetically. It's just been like, yo, like, let's just take it easy. So I've been really going with my own flow, as I usually do. And that's actually what we're gonna do here. We're gonna do one of my favorite things of all time, which is go with the flow. We're gonna talk about what's present. We just gonna flow with it, whatever comes. I honestly do not have a designated topic this week, and well, not this week, but for this specific episode. And honestly, I sat with it a little bit before recording, and I was like, I'm not gonna fight myself or force myself to talk about something, that's on my list or just tap into something. I don't feel like doing it. I just kind of want to flow. I want to connect with y'all. I just want to, I don't know, probably talk some shit, inspire you. This will probably be a short episode. Maybe it'll go a little bit longer. I don't know. But I know that it's very important to accept what is when you are honoring a decision to show up. When you're honoring a decision to just show up, like at the bare minimum, nothing else. Like, if no matter what the circumstances look like, I'm showing up. That sometimes come with not having a plan. That sometimes comes with having to wing it or having to, just trust. And that also just comes with trusting yourself to be yourself and trusting that whatever comes is enough and it's all okay. And I feel like that's speaking to the current energy. So I'm not an astrologist. I'm not super duper into the star sciences. I do know that they are relevant. I have a lot of astrologers in my tribe, in my network, and from time to time, like, I tap in to see what the current events are. Um, because what I feel to be true is that the some astrological events have an effect on us, right? On our bodies, on our mental state, on our emotions, on the circumstances that are playing out in our lives, on how we feel, whether we know it or not, whether we understand it or not, whether we believe it or not, it doesn't matter. Like, it is. Like, you don't have to believe in gravity for gravity to be working. Like, gravity doesn't give a fuck. The truth doesn't give a fuck. The science is the facts of this existence don't give a fuck whether you know about it, whether you believe in it, whether you trust in it, whether or not you're skeptical, it doesn't matter. Some things are just with or without your participation. So I do know and understand that about, like I said, these star sciences is what I want to call it. But the astrological events have an effects on our energetic field and why we feel certain types of ways, why, our energy could be fluctuating during this time, um, why we are maybe resting more than normal or working more than normal or however it's showing up in your life. So from what I know, we are in Mercury is currently retrograde, which has a which from my understanding has a lot to do with the re's, right? Reorganizing, remembering, revisiting, um like restructuring, like just redoing things. Um and many times that also shows up with the past or past circumstances, people from your past kind of recycling and coming um, showing themselves back into your awareness, into your life. Hmm. Some just clicked. Um, and so with that, it's helpful to know that, right? Because if you have an ex or a friend, or it's just like I said, somebody from your past, from somebody from another part of your life, maybe that you intentionally chose to let go of. And around this time, or around times of Mercury retrograde, when Mercury's in retrograde, they come back around and they texting you and they hitting you up and they trying to link up and they trying to like go back to the way things used to be. Sometimes it could be a trap, not intentionally like that, but it could be you signing up to put yourself in a position that was once compromising for you. And especially if you see if this person, or it could be a job, or it could be a type of opportunity, or maybe a group of people, maybe a company, or I don't know. It just could be anything, right? That recycles itself around this particular time. It's very helpful to be mindful of this so that you know that when you see certain things again, especially if you have not seen changed behaviors, that, okay, maybe I don't want to go back there. Maybe I shut that thing out of my life for a reason. Maybe I moved on for a reason and I'm sticking to this. I'm standing on business. I am implementing my boundaries and I'm making sure that I choose myself. I choose myself this time, just like I should have chose myself last time, or I did choose myself last time, and I'm not going to intentionally or consciously walk into setting myself up for failure, setting myself up to be compromised or put myself in a compromising situation. So that's one of the things that's happening. Um, Mercury's also the planet of communication. So we may be seeing a lot of, mistakes, mishaps, technological errors, um, technical difficulties, things of this nature. Actually, I just got a new phone today. I just got a new phone today because my other phone was tripping. My other phone was tripping. Excuse me, I had storage issues. Like my side button wasn't working. I couldn't use Apple Pay. I couldn't turn my phone on and off. Um, I couldn't record certain things. Like, so some of my functionalities on certain apps wouldn't be working, and I'm like, this is ghetto. Like, this is ghetto. You know what I mean? So like, if I have the means, which I do, and I have the opportunity and the upgrades exist, then I'm going to allow myself the opportunity. I'm going to allow myself that luxury of experiencing um, easier and more effortless or more seamless interactions with the things that I own and such. So, yeah, I got me a new phone today. Today was a day. Today was very I guess needed for myself. I pampered myself. I got nail cam. So cute. So cute. Anyway, yeah, those are some of the things that's happening with me. I've also been resting a lot. And by resting, I mean just like straight hermit mode, like in my bed. It's been like, eating what I want, implementing my positive habits, or my what do I want to call them? I guess my devotional practices, like working out, meditating, journaling, creating, going out with friends. I guess that could be like social life. Um, a lot of these devotional practices I've been sprinkling throughout the past 2 weeks, but overall I feel like I've just been resting, sluggish, like just like not wanting to come out my bed, not wanting to do anything. And I want to share something about that too. I've been really really mindful lately about observing, not the fact that I've been telling myself, but observing how often I tell myself I don't want to do something or I don't feel like doing something. And this is a huge breakthrough for me simply because just a few months ago, I was in a space where I couldn't like lift myself up out of a depressive state. I couldn't lift myself up to do the things that I knew for a fact would uplift me, would contribute to better mental health, that were just overall healthy for me. I could not bring myself. I'm like, I know affirmations work. I know getting up out of bed and working out works. I know drinking green juices and eating fruits work. I know that I should be drinking more water. I know that eating out too much is harmful for me. Like I knew I like conceptually I understood these things, right? Especially from experience. But I'm telling you, there was it was almost like there was something over me, something dark, something looming, and eventually like it passed, it lifted, right? Eventually that cycle broke. Eventually I got through to the other side of that experience and I felt like myself again. So since then, I've been mindful of working really diligently to not put myself back in that position, because messing with the wrong people, having the wrong people in your atmosphere, doing too much of the unhealthy things, eating too much of the unhealthy and dense things, having too much screen time or too much social media or consuming too much of anything, could really contribute to you falling in this pit. And it's not to say once you fall in a pit or once you experience a depressive state or you're going through some type of darkness that you can't get out. I don't believe anything is hopeless. I don't believe that there's an end all be all type of situation for any of us at any point in our lives. I truly believe that it is never too late. I truly believe in our strength and our resilience. And with the right practices, with the right persistence, with the right team, your physical team and your spiritual team, your human team and your spirit team, you can make it out of anything. With enough patience, with enough faith, you can make it out of anything. So I'm a firm believer in that. Not, I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I know that to be true because I have experienced that many times in my life. And I want to remind you who's listening that you have gotten through every single dark moment that you thought was there or sent to kill you. Like, you, I'm pretty sure anyone listening to this right now has been through something that you thought you were never going to get through, that you did not understand that you had the strength to get through, that God, source energy, universe pulled you out of something that was sent to destroy you, that you were not supposed to come back from. And some way, somehow, you are living and experiencing this present moment. And that says a lot. That is everything. That is something that you need to anchor into in order for you to keep going. Because whatever it is that you're going through right now, no matter how heavy it is, no matter how dark it is, no matter how defeating it feels, it does not have you. It does not have you. It's going to take a little work, maybe a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of belief. It's going to take a lot of faith, but you can do it. It's going to take your strength, but you can do it. You can do it. Okay. And so, since the last experience of I've had in a depressive state where I didn't feel like myself, I felt so much of not myself that I couldn't get up. I couldn't bring myself to take care of my basic needs, basic physical and spiritual hygienic needs. And that was really harmful to me. Very, very harmful. So harmful that it was like I was digging myself deeper and deeper, right? In this depressive state, into this hole. And when that happens, when you're digging yourself deeper and deeper, because you kind of have to do something drastic to get yourself out of there. Um, you have to keep praying. You have to keep believing. You One of the affirmations I came with um when I left that state was, I am divinely guided and protected. And I don't know if I shared that here before, but I'm gonna share it again because it was given to me. And it wasn't the affirmation that came while I was in the depressive state, while I was swallowed in that darkness. It wasn't that. It didn't come then. Once I got through it, it was like, girl, the reason why you here, it was like, you graduated. Welcome. And then it was like, yeah, you've been divinely guided and protected that entire time. And so I've been walking with that affirmation since. Like, oh, I know that I'm divinely guided and protected. Because I done went through some shit where I felt like I lost myself, where I couldn't see myself, where I couldn't see the way out. And I kept trusting. Deep in my heart, there was trust. There was trust. But I could not tap into the things that I know um usually bring me to back to myself. I couldn't, say positive affirmations. I couldn't do my yoga practices, right? I couldn't do my breathwork sessions. I couldn't really talk to nobody. Like, all of the things, I would sprinkle them in here and there, but I could not participate in these activities at full capacity because I was so swallowed, right, in that depression. And that's kind of how it works. But what we do have to understand about these experiences is that they're energy. It's energy, right? Spirits are energy. Emotions are energy. Emotions are spirits. Like, all of these things, we have to start sort of think of these things as entities. And so when I am kind of like in a depressive state, or I'm feeling really lethargic, or I'm so self-aware, right, that I'm noticing, okay, you eating out too much. You're eating too much bread. You're eating too much, I don't know, burgers. You're eating too much junk food. You're eating too many chips. You are overindulging, right? You're not drinking enough water. You're not eating enough fruits. My lips are dry because I'm dehydrated. When I indulge in my self-awareness and I admit these things to myself, what happens is that I can view myself from the outside looking in, from the observer point of view, and I can recognize that I am entangled with spirits that wish me harm. I am entangled with spirits who do not have my well-being at heart. I am entangled. I am dancing. I am, speaking to and feeding spirits who want to see me self destruct, who want to witness my demise, who want me, who want to defeat me, because we're truly at spiritual war. This is spiritual warfare. So I don't know I told you we was going to flow. At the top of this episode, I said we're just going to flow, and this is what's coming through. Like, we're at spiritual warfare. So we need to recognize emotions as spirits, because emotions is energy in motion. Emotions are energy in motion. So it's a particular energy that you're feeling. It's a particular energy that is overtaking your vessel, that is affecting how you can emote, how you can move, where you can move to, what energy that you can invoke into certain actions. That's the energy. That's the spirit. So when we drinking and partying too much, why you think they call alcohol or liquor spirits, right? You're engaging with everything has a spirit. So it's so important, again, to be that self aware, to understand, okay, this is what I'm experiencing. I'm feeling really lethargic. I'm eating too many foods that I know are not good for me. I'm not creating enough. I'm not outputting enough information into the collective. I'm not, feeding my mind with things that are productive and fruitful. I am not hydrating. I'm not breathing intentionally. When you're when you're affirming, not affirming, well, that was an affirmation. So cancel, cut, delete. But when you are aware of your behaviors and you can observe yourself, your actions, your behaviors from an objective point of view, it's easier to follow through with resolve, right? Because this removes the judgment. Too many times we cannot proceed, we can't move forward, and we can't um change our behaviors because we're condemning ourselves. And I think I said this in the episode where we talked about being less radical in your approach to change, that the only way to sustainable change is not through condemnation. It's through love, it's through compassion. And so we cannot have compassion for our friends, for our relatives, for our peers, for the things that we create, if we do not have compassion for ourselves first. And this is a such a beautiful practice. We need to practice having compassion for ourselves. We need to practice having patience with ourselves. And to bring it full circle, the more we become educated on the things that affect our spiritual or ethereal body, which our physical body is carrying out, the better we're able to have that patience and compassion, because we understand what is at the root and the source of our actions. We start to understand what is affecting our emotional body, what is affecting our spiritual body, what is affecting us in the invisible spaces in which our physical spaces are acting out. Okay, sound good to me. Word. What else we gotta talk about? I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. That was a word. That was a word. And yeah, I love you. I love you. Um, it's okay. It's okay. You're doing phenomenal. If you are alive, if you can breathe out of both nostrils, if you woke up in your right frame of mind, if you have mobility of your 10 fingers and 10 toes, if you have physical mobility, if you have clean hot running water available to you, if you have clean drinking water available to you, if you have the choice of what foods that you can eat, if you have a safe, stable roof over your head, if you are able to stand 10 toes down anywhere that you are right now, if you have support underneath your body right now, if you have a loved one that you can call, you can just say hello to, you can tell them that you love them, and vice versa. If you have access to electricity and technology, if you have the creativity to adorn your physical body, baby, you are so, so, so fucking rich, and you are so divinely blessed. Abundance is your birthright. Prosperity is your birthright. You need to start looking for abundance and prosperity all around you, because it exists. The air that you breathe is in abundance, and that is what makes you prosperous. Your lungs are filled with the life force energy that keeps you going. Fresh oxygen is available to get to your brain so you can think clearly, so that the rest of your organs can be oxygenated with clean, fresh blood coursing through your veins, coursing and animating you. You are so richly blessed. I will never stop telling you that. I will never stop affirming that, because there are so many beings that did not make it to see this moment. There were so many beings, so many. There are people in hospital beds, people in jail cells, people with no clean running water, people with no shelter, you know, who would literally give, people with no limbs, people who can't breathe without a machine, you know, like who would give anything, anything just to trade spaces with you. There's always going to be someone or a life that represents less than what you have, and there's always going to be a life that represents more than what you have. Always. No matter how much you gain, there's always more, because we live in such an abundant universe, right? The universe is forever and ever infinitely expanding. So you can't compete with it. You can't compete with the universe. You can't compete with the more. You can't compete with the abundance. But what you can do is recognize and identify that you are abundant. Identify with the fact that you are abundant. You are the abundance. You are the prosperity. You are glowing. You are so fucking rich just for living and being. And this is the energy that gets you to where you want to go and gets you whatever you want. But you got to stop focusing, right, on all the material shit. Because the last thing I'll say, maybe we'll go for another 20 minutes, I don't know. But I'm being called to remind us too that health is true wealth. Yes, it's like a Dr. Seuss quote, and or it sounds like one at least, and it's very cliche. But yo, like I said before, you'll never be healthier than you are right now. You know, you're never going to be as young and as vibrant and have as much energy as you have right now. You know, the first best time to do it was 20 years ago, to plant that seed, to join that gym, to build that house, to travel to that place, to shoot your shot. The last best time was 20 years ago. The next best time is right now, because all we have is the present. And if you can tune into every moment and remind yourself that this present moment is all that you have, therefore, how healthy you are in this present moment determines how wealthy you feel, and therefore will become, then I promise you, you'll get closer to a peace of mind. You'll get closer to establishing a life free of worry, a life free of lack, a life free of despair. And not to say those things will never come, but when they do, you'll know what to do. You'll know that all you have to ever do is tune yourself right back here, right to the present moment. Okay, I'm breathing, I'm alive, shit. Okay. Once I have air in my lungs, once I can breathe fresh air, once I can move my body, the possibilities are endless. That means I can come up with a fresh idea. I can come up with a thought, and I could come up with a solution to conquer any problem that I'm experiencing. This therefore eliminates worry, because you can't worry and have faith at the same time. You got to pick one. And I'm going to always pick faith, because that's what my life has shown me. That I can always tune into faith, because God, source energy, my highest being, always shows up every single time, on time. Maybe not on my timing, but every single time that energy comes through for me and pulls me up out of that dark place and say, baby, you've just been planted. You've been rooted, right? Maybe you understand a little bit more about who you are and what the world around you is. Maybe you can move with a little more caution. Maybe you can move with a little bit more wisdom. But baby, that was value. That was value that you gained. And now you're able to take that everywhere you go. Okay? I don't know. We did it. Another episode. Episode 8. Um, if you have any topic suggestions, and I have a ton, so don't get it twisted. Every episode is not gonna be just a free flow. And some will, I don't know. But I give myself permission to show up how I need to and how I desire to. I give myself to show up in whatever way suits me best in that present moment. I give myself permission to show up in ease and effortlessness. I give myself permission to be myself always, you know? So I hope you enjoyed this episode, this free flow. I hope you caught a gem. If you caught one, leave one. Go ahead, like, share, comment. I gotta get used to this saying that. I'm building YouTube. Yes, please comment. Comment like I said with any topic suggestions, anything that you learned or gained from this episode. I would really, really love to keep the dialogue going. Um, and I will see and speak to you in the next episode. So much peace, love, and abundance, you amazing, beautiful people. You are so blessed, so abundant, so juicy, so prosperous, so loving, so joyful. And a happier, healthier you means there's a happier, healthier world for me to exist in. So please keep working on yourself, keep showing up for yourself. Do not give in to beating up yourself for sleeping too much, for eating too much shit, whatever it is. Just implement those little things that you know. So, on my Instagram a few weeks ago, I dropped this video saying that maybe I'll talk about that next time, but I'll I'll expand on that. How um how much humans tend to underestimate the power of a detox or a fast, or drinking one green juice, or doing one meditation or breathwork session, doing one yoga flow. Like, it starts with one. It doesn't start with one day, it starts with day one. So even if you're overindulging, even if you're watching, too much Netflix, even if you're resting in bed too much, even if you haven't hit the gym in 3 weeks, even like, it doesn't matter. It just starts with one, right? Just interject that. Give yourself that. You owe yourself that one beautiful practice, and it doesn't have to be so impactful, but you need it in order for your body, your brain, your spirit to gain that muscle memory, right? That this too can exist in this space. This too can exist. So yeah, I can be overindulging, eating a whole bunch of junk food, eating pizza and fried chicken. I could be staying in my bed a little too much on my free time. I could be, watching, scrolling too much and watching too much Netflix. I could be out drinking too much, out partying too much. I could be smoking a little bit too weed. I could have more discipline with, how I'm spending my time or how I'm investing my time. Um, Maybe I'm listening too much drill music. Maybe I'm not moving my body enough. Okay, but show your body, your brain, your spirit that the other activities, these the opposite of these self-destructive, these self fulfilling activities and practices can coexist, because you are not one of the other. You are not one or the other. both can coexist. So when you interject that green juice on a day that you had pizza and a hamburger and fried chicken and them lemon, I can't even say because I don't even eat that shit. Lemon pepper wings and um those honey shots or whatever your tequila shots or whatever, but you had a green juice. It's like, okay, but I had a green juice. I could at least say that. And the next day you might wake up and the first thing you drink is some water and eat some fruit, and then you go back to eating whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are real life examples. This is how I really um balance my life. This life is really all about balance. So hopefully there was some value gained here. Show yourself that you're balanced and well rounded. That there's space for both. Two things can be true. You could be a lazy fuck and you could also be motivated and inspired. Two things could fucking coexist. Stop putting yourself in a box. And also create a lot. Like, if you're already compassionate and patient with yourself, be even more compassionate and patient with yourself. Okay? Because it's a journey and we human and we trying our motherfucking best. All right, y'all. I love you. I see you in the next episode. Peace.